powered by Alienware.
Introducing the Area 51 Threadripper Edition, with a liquid-cooled 16-core AMD Ryzen processor that's ready to overclock. Learn more at Alienware.com.
Science can reveal the truths that lie behind these many questions.
Moira is Overwatch's newest character, but there are many elements of her backstory that were not contained in the BlizzCon livestreams, and much of her origin remains untold. But we've pieced everything together to reveal the complete, untold story of Moira, and how she ties into the rest of Overwatch. Over a decade ago, Moira began to make waves in the scientific community when she published a controversial paper detailing a methodology for creating custom genetic programs that could alter DNA. This could be a huge advancement for humanity, offering the potential to overcome diseases and disorders, as well as maximising the potential for what the human body could do. However, her findings were met with dissent from other scientists, in particular those within Overwatch. Many of them considered her work to be horrifyingly dangerous because of the perceived ethical shortfalls, and they accused her of having the same short-sightedness and unchecked desire that many believed had caused the Omnic crisis.
Overwatch held back the pace of scientific discovery for decades. They believed my methods were too radical, too controversial, and they tried to silence me.
In addition, other scientists were unable to reproduce her results, calling her very discoveries into question. This is likely due to her using unethical and inhumane methods that probably didn't get detailed in the paper.
I take risks that others would consider to be unwise, for I do not share their caution.
The paper that should have kickstarted her career and changed the world, instead irreversibly damaged her reputation. Shunned by the scientific community, Moira was offered a lifeline from an unlikely source: Overwatch's covert ops division, Blackwatch.
There were others in the shadows, searching for ways to circumvent their rules.
With Blackwatch's backing, she continued her research in secret, developing weapons and technology for the organisation. It's at this time a close working relationship with Blackwatch's leader, Gabriel Reyes, began to form. Reyes wanted her to help him with some of his own ideas on genetics, and it was at this time that she played a role in the creation of who we now know as Reaper. This puts to rest many of the questions about where Reyes got the powers that turned him into Reaper from. Moira is responsible. Using her experimentation on DNA, she was able to grant him the powerful abilities that turned him into a deadly assassin.
Freed from my shackles, the pace of our research hastened. Together, we delved deeper into those areas forbidden by law, by morality, and by fear.
It seems Moira also used the technology on herself, granting her the Fade ability that allows her to vanish and reappear at will. This could also possibly be tied to her warped and dead-looking hand. We can see in the Origins video that she's resting the hand on Reyes while he undergoes the transformation. And during a panel at BlizzCon, Michael Chu said this:
"Why that hand is like that?"
Yeah, how did her hand get messed up? Was it perhaps close proximity to another sort of genetic anomaly or experimentation? Hard to say.
From the look of her hand, we can only imagine what Reaper's face looks like under that mask. Now, at some point during her stint in Blackwatch, she also gained access to Mercy's research or equipment, as it stated that Moira's powers are connected to hers, and that she uses a modified version of Mercy's equipment.
They both work together. Obviously, Moira was a part of Blackwatch, Mercy was a part of Overwatch, but she's definitely taken and modified some of that tech. In fact, there's some evidence on the Oasis map that sort of hints at some of that. So.
This may also have a connection to Ana. Ana's biotic rifle also uses a modified version of Mercy's technology in its darts, so it's possible that Moira may even have had a hand there as well. Her employment and experiments were a closely guarded secret, until it was uncovered during the inquiries following the Venice incident. This is the first mention of the Venice incident in Overwatch's history, but it's not the first mention of Venice. Today, Venice is where the Talon Council has their headquarters. This is shown in the Doomfist comic. Whether they still meet there is unknown. It's possible that their meeting place moves, but it's quite likely that the Venice incident could be tied to Talon, which we already know is closely connected with Blackwatch. It's possible the Venice incident played a role in the fall of Overwatch, and I'm pretty sure we'll learn more about this in the future. Of course, when Overwatch was disbanded, Moira was forced to find another means for funding, and this time she was invited to join the scientific collective that had founded the city of Oasis. Oasis is a city dedicated to scientific progress without restraint, somewhere that Moira would fit right in.
So what are we doing here, boss?
I need to pay a visit to a friend.
The city is run by the Ministries, a collection of brilliant minds who possess many secrets that have reportedly attracted the interest of powerful organisations from around the world. Moira was invited to join the scientific collective that founded the city as their Minister for Genetics, which puts her not only in a well-funded position, but also as a leader of the city. It also shows the kind of people who are really behind Oasis. We already knew that they put the progression of science above all else, but by seeking out Moira and putting her in such a powerful position, it's clear the leaders of the city have no problem with her unorthodox methods. Oasis isn't the only source of her funding, however. She's also being backed by Talon, the terrorist group that her old friend Reaper sits on the council of.
New patrons emerged who possessed an appetite for my discoveries. And with this knowledge, what new world could we build?
It's reported that they have been funding her research in exchange for utilising the results for their own purposes. While not directly expressed, it's likely that this includes the transformation performed on Widowmaker to turn her into a living weapon. We can also see Sanjay, a member of the Vishkar Corporation, sitting with the Talon Council. His presence there has been heavily speculated on in the past, thanks to the shadowy image in the Doomfist comic, but it's now 100% confirmed that he sits on the council, likely representing Vishkar. Also in this comic, next to Sanjay is another shadowy figure who we now know to be Moira. She was there all along. Back to Vishkar, they have long had an interest in Oasis, so expect a future story thread on their presence growing in the city, perhaps with the help of Moira. This in turn would also allow Talon even greater influence over the science being done there. Moira will go to any lengths to make scientific breakthroughs, but her work is still unknown to the rest of the world. However, now that she's backed by Oasis and Talon, the constraints have been lifted, and it's only a matter of time before things start to change.
We stand on the brink of a breakthrough in human evolution. I have dedicated my life to unraveling its secrets.
It's likely that whatever this breakthrough is will be a driving narrative, not only for Moira, but possibly Talon. There is a lot of evidence of genetic modification within Talon, Reaper and Widowmaker being prime examples, not to mention mechanical augmentation like Doomfist and Sombra. But it's possible that Moira has unlocked the potential for humanity to become even stronger, something that Talon will undoubtedly want to take advantage of.
Human strength will only get you so far.
What do you think about Overwatch's newest hero and how she fits into the rest of the world of Overwatch? Do you have any theories of your own? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to check out the rest of our coverage from BlizzCon 2017. As always, this is James Vercurse saying thanks for watching, and enjoy the game.
Powered by Alienware.
Introducing the Area 51 Threadripper Edition, with a liquid-cooled 16-core AMD Ryzen processor that's ready to overclock. Learn more at alienware.com.